Hey everybody, welcome to Trivia Ronin. I'm your host, Matt McNally. Whether you're joining us live on Zoom or Twitch or after the fact on YouTube, welcome and we're happy to have you. Quick breakdown of the rules. Most of you are aware. One, we're an honor code trivia here. You keep your own score. You can cheat if you want. You get nothing as a prize anyway, so, you know, you got to be a certain kind of scumbag to cheat, but otherwise have fun. Number two, if you want to play along with us, if you want me to keep your score, you can do this here. Scan this QR code with your phone, and then you can play along on your phone, save paper. If not, you can just write your answers on a piece of paper. If you don't, you can throw it in the... I did see... Thank you, QVC. We're going to talk about that in a second. And otherwise, answer in the chat. You guys know what the heck's going on. I don't know why I keep doing this. Tonight, 30 questions. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. 30 questions, Cinco de Mayo related. We're going to have a good time. There's a story at the end. I told you it's about Cinco de Mayo. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Let's play Trivia Ronin. Question number one. The now ubiquitous margarita is actually a tequila-based version of what brandy cocktail from which it takes its name? Darcy has this one already, so she can take her time. Otherwise, head scratcher to those who aren't bartenders. But I'll give you a hint. If you speak Spanish, you can just translate the word margarita. 45 seconds. Real QVC, I heard about this. I heard I was a Wayla question of Doug's. Offended about the Jeff Fisher one, but flattered about Ralph Macchio. So, you know, I'll call it an even one. The now ubiquitous margarita is actually a tequila-based version of what brandy cocktail from which it takes its name? Question number one. Away we go. Hopefully some folks are drinking one, if you're so inclined. Real QVC, well done. Walked right into that one. 2-1, show them, everybody. What do we got? Yay. Oh, I'll turn on Trivia Red. I totally forgot. Yes, you're right. Those of you who answered Daisy, that is the correct answer. Man on the Beach will get you a half point because that just sounds dirty. Good job, Emily. Also, Emily, give yourself another half point for drinking. Anyone drinking a margarita right now gets an additional half point. Because that's what I do. Question 2. Legally, tequila... You only get one per team, though. Don't cheat, guys. Legally, tequila can only be produced inside Jalisco State and a few specific municipalities. Other agave-based spirits are called what? 45 seconds. Anything that's not from the tequila region. In the same way that all champagnes are from Champagne. I'm not talking about Champagne-Urbana. Although I've had an excellent sparkling wine from the good people in University of Illinois. Legally, tequila can only be produced inside Jalisco State and a few specific municipalities. Other agave-based spirits are called what? What is the term for those things? QVC Brandy Alexander is an excellent guess. No reason for you to know, Daisy, unless you had to shake a drink at some point. And nobody has to do that. 3, 2, 1, show them. Where are we at? Yep, some people got agave wine is a good point. But it is actually, everything else is mezcal, oddly enough. Even if it's not smoky, you can still call it mezcal. But most of them are smoky, but that's its own thing. La Reina del Sur, Cuna de Lobos, I'm going to blow all this, La Usurpadora, and Yo Soy Betty La Fea are all popular examples of what drama-fueled television genre? 45 seconds. Not all of these are Mexican versions of that, but all of these are beloved in Mexico. La Reina del Sur. Fun fact, I did ADR translations for the lead of La Reina del Sur for another show she was in. And that is not that interesting. 10 seconds. La Reina del Sur. I think it's Cuna. I couldn't figure out how to do tildes, guys. There you go. Prototype Space Hobo. You got it. Show them, everybody. Sí, claro. I'll give you a half point for soap operas. I was looking for telenovelas, but they are technically soap operas, so, you know, Take a half point. Question 4, Telly Savalas. That's a half point as well. Telly Savalas gets a half point. This chain restaurant still carries the last name of its founder, a man who reverse engineered a recipe from a Mexican restaurant and then sold it as his own. Stop me if you've heard this one. 45 seconds. White guy steals recipe, creates multi-billion-dollar chain. Million. This chain restaurant still carries the last name of its founder, a man who reverse engineered a recipe from a Mexican restaurant that was across the street from his drive-in, and he sold it as his own. Sold that thing. It's a chain. Restaurant is a loose term with 8 seconds left. It's not particularly a sit-down establishment. 2-1. Show 'em. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was sort of one of two. But if you wrote Taco Bell, Bell is the last name of Glenn Bell, the founder of Taco Bell. It has nothing to do with bells, except they put it on the front because his name was Glenn Bell. Question 5, 7-pointer. Boom! Start thinking. Name the future U.S. states that were wholly or partially ceded by Mexico in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. 45 seconds. That'd be the treaty that ended the Mexican-American War. 7-pointer. 7 possible points. Name the future U.S. states. Obviously, at the time, they were not states, but all states that were contained within the territory ceded by Mexico in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Time for my side beer. Oh, I hope we updated our information. It's episode 122, guys. We did it. And show them, everybody. It's a few of them, but I'll show you the list. Yep. Oh, I think Chris got most of them, except, oddly enough, not Oklahoma, but yes, California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Texas, and a slice of Colorado. So give yourself as many points as you got out of 7. I'll give you a second. California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Utah. Emily wrote 6. And they're all 6 of those are right. But you could have gotten 7. Anyway, those are your answers. Write them down if you got them. Next up to bat. Boop, boop. See, another thing I'm going to pronounce wrong. Momochitli was a delicious Aztec snack made in hot clay pots that we now make in microwaves and movie theaters. What do we call Momochitli? What do we call Momochitli as? Good job, Matt. What do we know Momochitli as? 45 seconds. Obviously not getting made in a lot of Momochitli consumption went down this year, I would presume. I didn't do the research. What do we know it as? Momochitli. Fun word. I'll tell you what. Whether you get the answer or not, we've all learned a fun word, and that's what's important. It's a delicious Aztec snack made in hot clay pots. We now make it in microwaves and movie theaters. What do we call Momochitli? You nailed it. Prototype Space Hobo gave it the official title. Otherwise, yes, let's see it. Yeah. Everybody caught on to this one. Popcorn or popped corn. Either way, popcorn. They invented it. Richard Montañez was a janitor at a California Frito-Lay plant when he pitched this elote-inspired snack idea that caught fire. Now he's a VP. 45 seconds. Go for him. Did not caught. It's more of a metaphor. Thank you, Chris. Good point. You never know with Trivia Ronin. It could have been a flammable snack. I'm using a metaphor in this case. Any other theater treat made in a microwave for 10 bonus points to me, if I can name one. Thank you, Real QVC. I've made nachos in the microwave. I guess a hot dog, but that's gross. Yeah. You boil a hot dog or grill it.
You boil your hot dogs?
People boil hot dogs. Corn nuts. Maybe. Although the Peruvians invented corn nuts. Show them. That was an Inca thing. Yes. Some people get it. Yep. Those who got it. Flamin' Hot Cheetos. He's the guy who came up with Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Go for him. Go for him. Question 8 is the one we're going to once this decides to work. Great. This takes up the whole damn screen, but we're going to have a good time with it. The Jarabe Tapatio is a beautiful Jaliscan folk dance, but since it ends with the woman donning the man's sombrero, Americans usually just call it what? 45 seconds. Tapatio being a demonym for people from Guadalajara. I did not know that. The Jarabe Tapatio is a beautiful Jaliscan folk dance, but since it ends with the woman donning the man's sombrero, Americans usually just call it what? What do we call it? What do we call this thing? Skipping 3, 2, 1, show 'em. Of course, stealing gets you a full point, Chris, because you are correct. Otherwise, sing it with me. Hey, the Mexican hat dance. There you go. We learned something. Mexican Carlos Graciada Liziega. I mean, it's just Carlos Graciada mostly. Is possibly the best person to ever play this sport of kings. So good he even trained future British King William, 45 seconds, in this specific sport. La Cucaracha, excellent guess, but alas, slightly different. And La Cucaracha is called La Cucaracha. Mexican Carlos Gracida is possibly the best person to ever play this sport of kings. So good he even trained future British King William. There's kind of two sports of kings, to be fair. But this is one of them. Best in the world. He won what's called the Triple Crown of this sport twice in a row in 88 and 89. This guy, Carlos Gracida, show him. Of course, it's not jousting is an excellent guess. Chess is a guess. If I was Doug, it would be chess, Julian. You know that. But it is not, unfortunately. It is polo. He's the best polo player in the world. Passed away in 2012, but was the best polo player in the world. Question 10, ending the Mexico round. When is Mexico's Independence Day? 45 seconds. When is Mexico's Independence Day? Oh, I don't need the year. I'm sorry. I just need the calendar date. I don't know because I don't know the year. But if you know the year, please tell me. I like to learn things. When is the Independence Day? I have one joke answer I'm anticipating, and I think I'm going to take points away from you if you write it. So be warned. Show me Twitch. Somebody do it. Nobody did it. Everybody got scared. All right, show them. Hey, good work. Taco Tuesday was not the one I'd take points away, but God bless you. It is, yes. Wow. So Team Larry got it. Just so everybody knows, it is September 16th. I was waiting for someone to write July 4th in Spanish. And then I would call you a monster and say, get off. Just kidding. Don't. That would be funny. Great. September 16th, everybody. And nobody knew the year. Maybe I'll Google it on the break so we all know. And we learned something. That is this round. Good work, everybody. Tally up your scores. No one's playing Trivia Rat because I forgot to show you. So, oh well. We'll see you in 3 minutes. Bye-bye. Here we go. Question number 11. Steve Bono, or Bono, was the 49ers' third-string quarterback for 5 seasons, but didn't have much chance at playing time as he backed up what 2 players? 45 seconds. So, 1 point each, I guess? Although, if you get one... What do you think, Steven? You get one of these, you're going to get both of these, right? Yeah, all right. This is not a 2-pointer. This is a 1-pointer. Trapped you. Steve. If somebody knows the correct pronunciation, good for you. But this poor third-string quarterback for 5 seasons was playing behind what 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks for the San Francisco 49ers. It's not Jimmy Garoppolo. 2-1, show 'em. Yeah, exactly. If you get one, you got both. I figured. Good work, everybody. Yes, Real QVC, you are right. It is Joe Montana, and Steve Young. Emily, you get a half point for Colin Kaepernick because he should be in the league. That's the main reason. The Shootist is a 1976 Western film that ended up being the final screen appearance of what Hollywood Royal? 45 seconds. Because, you know, like Hollywood royalty. But I'm more using royal in kind of a deceptive sense. I'll explain when you see the answer. But you know the answer. Because it's a 76 Western. Just this face. The Shootist. By the way, like, you could just make... Really, by the late 70s, they clearly ran out of Western titles. They're just like, he shoots guns, call him the Shootist. Not even the shooter. The Shootist is a 1976 Western film, ended up being the final screen appearance of what Hollywood? You can call him a legend if you don't want to see the word royal. But royal's kind of a hint. 3, 2, 1, show him, everybody. Royal's a hint because they called this man the Duke, John Wayne. Oh, Marion Morrison, excuse me. QVC, give yourself a half point for knowing John Wayne's real name. So popular, he put his name on an airport. Question 13. There once was a book called Angela's Ashes, and it was based in what Irish town? 45 seconds. I'm really proud of this question. I'm just sitting here so proud of this question. Next time everyone sees Doug, tell him how good this question was. As long as you get it right. There once was a book called Angela's Ashes. And it was based in what Irish town? You don't have to have read Angela's Ashes to get the answer to this question. John Wayne. Flava Flav, not a fan of John Wayne. If you're familiar with the song Fight the Power. Don't blame him. There once was a book called Angela's Ashes, and it was based in what Irish town? 2-1, show 'em. Oh, something. Gets you a half point again, Chris. Belfast is... Wow, really? Okay, so there once was a book called that was based in a town called Limerick. There we go. I couldn't think of a rhyme, but it's in Limerick. That's why I wrote it as a limerick. Memba? It doesn't matter. I was happy about it. This amino acid is usually blamed, possibly incorrectly, for turkey making us sleepy on Thanksgiving. Also, Angela's Ashes, big bummer. Don't worry about reading it. I hear it's a big bummer. I haven't read it. God, I haven't read anything. What a waste of a pandemic. I've got Infinite Jest sitting on my bookcase just laughing at me. This amino acid is the one that's usually blamed, and I guess there have been studies lately, because I Googled it today, possibly incorrectly, for turkey making us sleepy on Thanksgiving. Or anytime you eat turkey, I should say. It's just an amino acid in turkey. And by turkey, I mean the bird. I do not mean the country, although there's probably this amino acid somewhere in this country. 3, 2, 1, show 'em. Anybody know the name of it? Memba? Yeah. Ooh, serotonin's close and would be correct also, I was thinking of tryptophan, and I'm not here for spelling. Don't worry about it. It's called tryptophan. That's the one that makes you sleepy. Question 15. I loved this fact. This major West Coast city was named via coin flip between two New England city names, Boston and this, which is it is now called. Heads Boston, tails, name of the town. So it's a West Coast town that currently has the name of a New England city. It's also my favorite Family Guy joke of all time. And I'll just do it for you right now. Holy crap, I'm luckier than the state of Rhode Island. And then they flash back. And the founding fathers are there and they go, all right, gentlemen, time to name the state. We'll flip a coin. Heads, Rhode Island. Tails, Kakapoopoo-Pee-Pee-Shire. Good job, Seth MacFarlane. 2-1, show 'em. I'll take credit for it. Any ideas? Oh, if there was a town called Providence, you would be correct, Chris. But it is Portland, Oregon, named after Portland, Maine, of course. Portland, Oregon. Well done. Question 16. This is just a guesser, but just think about the town. St. Augustine, Florida is the home of what Sports International Hall of Fame? 45 seconds. This is just one of those you got to be like, what sport would have its Hall of Fame in St. Augustine, Florida? And yeah, I'll throw Florida under the bus. Always I'll throw Florida under the bus. Darcy knows I have a strict no Florida hire policy as a manager, as a restaurant manager. See Florida on that resume. Oh man, we lost all our Twitch viewers. Bummer. I'm out of here. Just kidding. Florida's awesome. St. Augustine, Florida is the home. I mean, you know, it's a crazy state. It's a good time. It's crazy. Show 'em. What would be the Hall of Fame in St. Augustine? Yes. Excellent guess. Excellent. 2 excellent guesses that got it right. Michael Phelps would guess swimming, but otherwise we'd guess golf because, you know, St. Augustine. It's a shame that nobody plays golf in this house. Thrown under the bus. The 1969 memoir 13 Days, later made into a Kevin Costner movie, is about what geopolitical standoff? 45 seconds. Give you a hint. It was a 13-day standoff. Gator wrestling. Emily, take a half point for that. This 1969 memoir, 13 Days. Won't tell you who wrote it, so it'd give it away. But it was later made into a Kevin Costner movie where he does a real bad accent. Anybody remember this movie? I saw this in the theaters, man. Has one of my favorite Costner lines that I'll do for you right at the end. The 1969 memoir, 13 Days. 2-1, show 'em. And let me just quote Kevin Costner and say, it's like we're having our own private 4th of July in here. Cuban Missile Crisis, of course. You guys got it. That's the one we think of. He was real bad in that. So bad that I still remember it to this day, and I haven't seen that movie in 20 years. Question 18. The bastion, bulwark, bailey, and barbican are all typical parts of what type of structure? 45 seconds. So if you built one of these things, you'd be able to see a bastion, a bulwark. Bulwark? It's probably pronounced bulwark. Bailey and barbican. And Barnum. Well done. I know QVC's guess. That's not the answer. Circuses are intense, guys. That's not the answer. There's a pole and a tarp. But this structure has many other things, and 5-second hint, you can go inside one. In general. 2-1, show 'em. There's a lot of guesses, I'm sure. Yeah, ship is an excellent guess. Larry changed the last second, and guess what? They got it. It's a castle. Those are all parts of a castle tradition. A medieval castle, I should say, but a castle nonetheless. Question 19. The country of Haiti has only one land border that it shares with what nation? 45 seconds. There's an island. Ooh, cathedral's a good guess, Emily. I'm sorry. That one, no half point. But it's a good guess. I'm just here to say that. The country of Haiti has one land border that it shares with what other nation? Just a big old line. Turning down the synth wave just for Emily. 5 seconds left. The country of Haiti has one land border that it shares with what nation? 2-1, show 'em. Yep. Oh, yeah, look at it. We got some geography buffs over here. Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic. Well done, everybody. And then question 20. What does a hygrometer measure? 45 seconds. What does a hygrometer measure? Emily, I just have to say this. Puerto Rico's not a country. But, so that one, not a good guess. However, it is nearby. But question 20, moving on, what does a hygrometer measure? LOL, prayer hands. This is true. What does a hygrometer measure? Everybody get out your ancient Greek textbooks. If I had a hygrometer, God, if I had a hygrometer, you know? Trying to get that hygrometer, bro. Hygrometer does sound like a bad strain. Show them. Yep, good guess. The amount of hygro is completely correct. Precipitation or water, kind of. It's humidity, guys. That's the thing that measures humidity. Aside from a barometer, it's just a fancy barometer, I think. But that's the fancy name for it. I'll give pressure or humidity. I'll give you a point for that, QVC. Otherwise, that's the end of that round. Next up, picture time. It is Mexican picture time. We're gonna do Mexican themes pictures, but everyone should be able to get them. I'll see you in 3 minutes. You are all smart people. Bye bye. Disney princesses, things you can stick up your ass that are nutritious, and Black history.
Hey there, welcome to Trivia Ronin.
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 I'm your host, Douglas Larlam, and I'm not wearing pants.
As of August 2019, what is the top grossing film to hold an MPAA rating of G?
It's gonna be a nice, quiet, intimate show.
She murders deaf children right after they get cochlear implants.
Don't ever forget I can kill people I think about.
We make up for it by being less creepy than Drew Carey.
Shit's going down on Twitch.
It's like 4 dementia movies. I wanted to watch them, but I forgot. Remember movies in theaters when they made money? That was the thing.
I'll make love to you.
Am I supposed to wait?
Saturday night and you're on Twitch during a pandemic. If you're not drinking, you're doing it wrong.
It's a cat toy on a reusable straw.
Fuck with that algorithm.
This is Doug's tie, by the way.
You almost don't need a gunshot to die.
Doug, you think we'll get a lawsuit out of this one?
I don't care.
Don't fuck this up, McNelly.
If you guys were just fucking dumb, I'd be better at this as a host.
It was Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. That came out in 2019. When was that? Anyway, it's 10 Cinco-related Waylas. The first one's super easy, so I'm actually only going to give you 30 seconds because it's obvious. So, away we go. Question number 1 of Wayla round, or question 21 if you're keeping score. What country's flag is this? Whose flag? Sorry, green screen problems. Ironic green screen problems on the green part. There we go. That's better. What country's flag is this? You guys know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and show them while I adjust it to 40. Yes, 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 of course. Mexico. It is Mexico. Question number 2, and this one gets a little tougher because it's real zoomed out, but you'll figure it out. This is a bottle of Casamigos. I whited out somebody's signature and put a question mark. Whose signature is on the bottom left of the Casamigos bottle? I could have written this question. Who's the guy who founded Casamigos? And I didn't ask the hard one. It's the easy one. I always forget the other guy's name. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. It's like Brian something. It's not that guy. It's the other guy. Casamigos. His signature is on every bottle. It must be exhausting, honestly. Can you imagine? Door closing. House friend. House friend tequila 2-1. Show him. The founder of Haas Friend, Antonio Banderas, is an excellent guess and probably makes more sense. El Chapo might be true somewhere down the line. George Clooney is what I was looking for, though. George Clooney, question 3, geography. What city is that? 45 seconds. What city are we pointing at in that, by the way, excellently photoshopped? What city is that? George Bayless. I'll give you that. What city are we looking at? Right on the tip of that particular part. We're pretty far zoomed in. So I'll give you a 10-second hint. That's what's called the Yucatan Peninsula. If that helps you. Why not? 3, 2, 1, show them. I've been there. Anybody else? Who's been there? Hopefully not recently. Yep. Because the only person who just went there was, I believe, Ted Cruz. Cancun, everybody. Cancun. And here we go. Look at these gentlemen. The first thing, if you bing this thing, first thing that comes up, these gentlemen are in what type of band? Or we would call them individually. Oh, right, Rick Bayless. Ah, Emily, I see what you were doing there. Famed Midwest restaurateur, Rick Bayless. That's not his tequila, however. It is George Clooney's tequila. Perhaps these gentlemen would play a Mexican hat dance for you. I'm American, so I call it a Mexican hat dance. I really, really want to get my hands on the big bass guitar. It's on my list. They're probably very expensive. 3, 2, 1, show them. These well-dressed gentlemen are, of course, Yep. Everybody knows it. They are a mariachi band. Mariachi. Question, I think 5. What kind of beer is this? Ralph Macchio Band. Well done. Guys, I'm so flattered to be compared to Ralph Macchio, honestly. You talking about Bob Loblaw? Me as Bob Loblaw? That's a Bob Loblaw law bomb. That's a low blow Loblaw. It's a Bob Loblaw law bomb. Clearly, I haven't been drinking enough if I can still say that. What beer is this? 20 seconds left. And you know what's fun about this beer is if you work in a bar that carries it, enough of it, they send you the glasses that are just the upside down bottle. I always find that cute. They're very cute. I want to steal one, but I haven't worked in a bar that carries it. 2-1, show them. Da-da-da. Yeah. Sí, claro. It is Modelo. That's a Modelo beer. This one's a little tougher. Who's this guy? This is tougher than you think it is. I was expecting Doug to be on. I don't know why I expect Doug to be on. It's not like we both, run a business together. Why would he show up? Doug doesn't have a job, guys. Who's this guy? He's going to catch that on the YouTube and throw it right back at me. But Doug would get this. He knows weirdly too much about this sport. It's boxing. Also sometimes called the sport of kings. One of three things that's called the sport of kings. Horse racing, boxing, and polo. 2-1. This guy is who? I feel like. Ooh, Canelo Alvarez is such a good guess and more contemporary. Chris, I'm giving you a full point for that. And Pud, because it's more contemporary. But this guy is considered the greatest Mexican boxer of all time, Julio Cesar Chavez. I was worried someone was going to do American boxer Oscar De La Hoya. But everybody thinks he's Mexican. Anyway, who's this? You know who this is. 45 seconds. I know, right? Real QVC? I didn't know what he looked like either, but that's what's fun about doing Wayla sometimes. So I'll pick someone that I don't know what they look like. Who is this? Who's this person? She's a confirmed Mexican national. Did the due diligence here at Trivia Ronin. Had my research department all over it. Who dis? 3, 2, 1. You right, Seth Ron. Big Frida. Frida indeed. Frida Lay. We were talking about Frida Lay earlier. This is Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo. Yeah, spelling doesn't count, guys. I'm not a monster. What's in this bag? 45 seconds. Guys, you don't need to compliment me on my photoshopping. I know it's good. What is this snack we're looking at? Seth Ron coming out hot. We're doing the roast of Doug Larlam tonight, guys. Anyone else have something to say? Don't say it. Don't say it, Darcy. It'll be recorded. 2-1. He'll hear you and get sad. Show him! I mean, hey, Chris, you could just write Fritos for all of them and you'd be super close because it is, I believe, it's not the Frito-Lay company, unfortunately, but it is Takis. Hey, Taki. That was Takis or Takis. So, hey, remember this guy? I think I've asked a question about him before. What's his name? Give you a hint. Also the name of an ancient Mexican civilization. He has an individual name of an ancient Central American civilization, is what I would say. I wish, like, sometimes I want to put some GIFs in here more often just to get that mouth moving because the mouth was so bad. It was like, which is fair because he was like a 9-foot statue on Legends of the Hidden Temple, of course. That's your 3-second hint. And the answer was what? Anybody remember? Yeah, I see a few of them. Inca's a great guess, but South American, not Central. But his name was not Montezuma. Also a good guess. His name was Olmec. Of the Olmec civilization that came before the Aztecs and the Mayans. Emily, that was a Nickelodeon question, and sometimes that's rude. Last but not least, who's this guy? 45 seconds. Oh, I don't need the actor. Sorry, what character is this? This is like an iconic character. Know what I didn't realize about this character? Technically Mexican, but the original series all took place in Los Angeles. at the Mission. He was like based at the Mission of Los Angeles. So another iconic Los Angeles figure. Bart Simpson, great guest for the last one or this one, Dr. Dopeness. Welcome. Oh, I see Marisha. I knew Marisha was feeding all the answers. I just saw it happen. I knew it was happening. 2-1. And show him, of course. Yes. Am I doing it correct? Is this the right way? I'm doing it backwards. It's fine. Yes, it is indeed Zorro. That is Zorro. And that, I believe, yep, that's the last one. Cool. So that is the whale around. Good work, everybody. Nice job. Yes. I'm sorry, go on. Please give me the full name of this person. And what was he, a green monkey? Was he a silver, or no, a green parrot? Yes. Oh yeah, I think the Blue Lions. If anyone in Twitch, guys, on your 3-minute break, anyone on the Twitch chat who wants to put in the names of all the Legends of the Hidden Temple characters, feel free. Otherwise, I'll see you all in 3 minutes. I don't know if it's worth points unless someone really impresses me. Bye-bye! Cinco de Mayo story. Obviously. Because, I'll be honest, I came into today and I was like, I don't know anything. I'm a Cinco idiot. So I decided, let's spend tonight getting to learn something. So let's learn about Cinco de Mayo. Now, we all know officially, as of round 1, Cinco de Mayo is not about Mexican independence. You know this, September 16th. That's Mexican Independence Day. Cinco de Mayo is not Day of the Dead, which many people sometimes think, apparently, that's dumb. Halloween. A lot of people think it's a made-up holiday that beer distributors came up with at some point. Those people are kind of right. You're kind of right. And let me tell you about it. So, beer in America is locally distributed by companies called distributors, for anyone who's unaware. Here in Los Angeles, we have some folks at Southern, some folks at Classic. Shout out to Classic. I got to go to a Kings game thanks to them. Shout out to Peter Doe, who used to be Darcy knows Peter Doe. Peter Doe's my guy. Steven, you met Peter Doe. Anyway, shout out to Peter Doe. I'm just putting that on Twitch right now. Anyway, distributors. They're out there. There's a beer distributor in the San Antonio area. They're all very local, called the Gambrinus Group. And they were trying to pump up sales for their most popular Mexican import at the time. And so they started importing this particular beer in 1970. That was the moment when this beer started to go to the States. By 1986, it was the second most popular import in America behind Heineken. 1987 comes around. All of a sudden, these rumors come out that nobody really can figure out what the root of them are, but there are these rumors that there's pee in this particular beer. And they're like, what's going on? So basically, people were saying that the Mexican brewers of this beer were relieving themselves into the vats during their shifts because they had to work so hard that they would just pee in the vats of beer and nobody would notice. So that was the rumor going around America in 1997. 2 Nevada grocers pull all Mexican imports from their shelves because of this. And it starts this, 2020 style national outcry. What's going on with this beer? Is this a health hazard? Yada, yada, yada. The true story, by the way. People all believed it because we know why people believed it here in America. And, let's say it, racist. But also, kind of because this particular beer was fairly sudsy when you poured it. And because it was in a clear bottle, which was sort of a new thing. So, clear bottle looked like piss, but all beer looks like piss, but whatever. So this company has to stage a full-blown PR campaign to salvage their name. They send their executives to the States to start doing talk shows. So at one point, they have, I think, 20 executives going out to talk shows across the board. You're talking 87, so you're talking your Donahues, you're talking your Sally Jesse Raphaels, you're talking all those classics. It kind of works. But they also make like PR videos that they send to TV stations. The TV station's like, why would I show that rather than an ad? Nobody really cared. But the Gambrinus Group, right? These guys in San Antonio I hope I'm saying that right. But they start running local ads because they're like, you know what? Instead, let's pivot. Let's try to sell this thing on a specific day and promote people drinking this beer on a specific day. So they run these ads. They look into it. They figure out there's a holiday right around May 5th. So they run a bunch of ads beforehand and say, you know what you should do? You should drink this Mexican import every day on May 5th. And of course, they were reps of Corona. So Corona was the beer that they were trying to sell. They're trying to get that out there, get everybody to buy it. But the more important fact was who they were targeting. So let's go back to the Chicano movement in America. Started in the 1940s and 50s about getting Latin Americans, specifically Mexican Americans, more civil rights. And in the 60s, it finally became a time when they said, you know what, we need to take pride in our own heritage, as well as saying we are Americans. And so these guys are actually the ones, as this movement had been going along, the Gambrinos group was actually targeting Mexican Americans specifically. Not what we would think of as just like, let's get white people to drink some beers. It was for Mexican Americans saying, you need to take pride in a product that comes from your country and buy a whole bunch of it to show how good your product is. It's a smart move. And the Chicanos in San Antonio completely are on board, and they sell like gangbusters on Cinco on a day that they don't really particularly celebrate, but they know the history of it. And they know how important it is to actual American history in a very interesting way, which we're now going to talk about. So much like Casimir Pulaski Day, if you are a Chicagoan, I don't think we have any on here right now, but if you're a Chicagoan, that's a very local holiday that you grow up with, and that becomes a person you know about. Now, if you live in Puebla, Mexico, you grew up with Cinco de Mayo, 100%. Everybody else in that country didn't really give a shit, but the people of Puebla are all about Cinco de Mayo. What happened on that day, it commemorates something called the Battle of Puebla, where a small contingent of Mexican forces in 2 forts on a hill ended up holding off an invading European army. A big old European army comes for them. There's 2 forts. They have 3 waves, artillery's being fired at them, and they hold steady and finally run them off the battlefield. This small Mexican contingent led by a man named General Ignacio Zaragoza. That army that was coming for them was attempting to install a European-style empire in the Americas to combat the fact that the United States was getting more and more powerful all the time. So on May 5th, 1862, thank goodness, this Mexican army stopped that European force from invading Mexico and fought them back. So thank goodness, that's why we celebrate this holiday, right? They stopped this imperial force from taking over Mexico, right? No. What happened was on Cinco de Mayo, they did fight off this European force. They went back. They fell back, and then 12 days later, they fought the Second Battle of Puebla, and then they won. And then they overran the Mexican army. They invaded Mexico City, and they took over the entire country of Mexico. At that point, they founded what was called the Second Mexican Empire. There was a full-blown empire down there, and this army placed an Austrian man named Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian on the imperial throne of Mexico. And there was a full-blown Mexican empire that was founded that day. But 1865 rolls around. The United States had been a bit preoccupied in 1862 with our Civil War. By 1865, it's all done. The American forces finally start to they say, we got a bunch of guys who've been fighting a war for a long time. Let's go down and help our friends in Mexico and found a Mexican republic again and keep the Europeans out of here, because if you know anything about the Monroe Doctrine, we don't like Europeans here. So they support the Mexican forces. The Mexican forces re-invade Mexico City. And by 1867, they take this poor Austrian dude who was like, that sounds like a good gig. They take him and they execute him in 1867, and they reinstall the Mexican Republic. Question is, what was the invading imperial army that attempted and successfully took over Mexico and then put a puppet emperor on the throne. What was the country whose army that was? 45 seconds. Following Cinco de Mayo. What army was it? They were looking for a foothold in the Western Hemisphere. They got it for a little while. It was all because the Mexican government said, we're not going to pay our debts to Europe. We're a little short on cash. So they said, cool, we'll take over your whole country. Different time? Kind of. I don't know. Not really. 3, 2, 1. What country was it? Show them, everybody. Spain? Good guess. I see London, though. I see... Yes, everybody. It was actually France. The French army invaded Mexico. Napoleon III, the emperor of France at the time, was behind it. So if you had France, which I believe Larry did. Larry, I believe you were big winners. What's the final score? 41.5. Anyone got better? 38. Ooh, close, Pud. You made a last second comeback. But 41.5 means Larry back on top. Emily, how dare you in the Twitch chat. Back on top, everybody. Good work. Congratulations to Larry. Congratulations to everyone on Twitch. Just remember, go on eBay. See if you can get yourself a piece of the aggro crag. That seems like fun. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for helping grow this experience. Completely in the script to say that. I'm saying it again. It was good to see y'all. This is Matt McNelly at Trivia Ronin saying to everybody on Twitch, don't be shitty and, I don't know, have another margarita. What could go wrong? Adios, amigos.